Tonight I'm going to do the quick and dirty of what's coming up for you aerospace education officers or your commanders if you are just a seat holder at the time being. I know that our AEOs switch around a lot and it's hard to keep people in place. And for you commanders, this is for you too. We're going to just talk about what your requirements are for reporting real quick. So what you're going to be submitting in the next month or so is a unit plan of action for 2021. So if I go to unit PAO, it will change to unit PAO, and I will hit select, and I will go to 2021. My plan of action is for the coming year. My activity report is for the previous year. So we'll just go down here and show you that my plan of action is blank at this point. This has a lot of things in here. Some of them are auto-filled based on your billeting and your e-services information. Let me shrink up this thing here. As we go down in this sheet, there's other stuff to fill in. Now, I don't understand this part. I always click AEX every time I submit this, and sometimes, for some reason or another, it says no for the AEX program. And we'll talk a little bit about AEX in a little bit. But anyhow, you're going to want to say yes to AEX because fulfilling that requirement is very easy. Probably you're going to want to say yes to model rocketry because we're going to have a wing-wide rocketry event at some point, hopefully in the next year. We can't be under a pandemic forever. You're going to want to order a STEM kit for sure, and you're going to want to complete that STEM kit. And you're going to want to push Jaeger Award achievements. Right now across the wing, there's only, I think, 53% or something. So we want to try and get more senior members taking the Jaeger Award. It's really quite fun and easy to take it. It's not a big deal. People think 100 questions, oh, it'll take forever, and I don't want to do it, but it's worth doing. It's interesting. And then basically that's it. You're going to submit it. The other things down here are how many awards you'd like to put out. Please try for one. There's no reason why you wouldn't, go for one or two. You can always award a cadet or a senior member, AE unit of the year. Member of the year. Over here, definitely, if you're going to be in schools, that's ACE. If you're going to do any kind of education, aerospace education with cadets, that's AEX. You can also do AEX in schools, model rocketry, STEM kits. This is for talking about things outside of your program. So if you have any interaction with 4-H, girls clubs, boys and girls clubs, or school program or anything. So that's your plan of action. You definitely want to fill that out. And then we'll go back up to the top here and switch over to our activity report. For the activity report, this is the more important one. You're going to select the current year. So the big thing to remember, activity report, current year, 2020, plan of action for the next year. Go down to my squadron. So this will come up, and a few of the questions are really quite simple. You just look back in your squadron's history. Did you submit by, and you say yes, because I marshaled everyone to make sure that this is complete by then. So, and we'll do the same this time. If it gets down to 2 days beforehand, I will be calling, helicoptering, parachuting into your house. I don't know. Yeah, that's the level of our commitment to make sure that this happens, because this is what the wing will get dinged for, and it's kind of silly, but that's what we have to do. There's a bunch of questions in here. I'm going to just jump down to the important part. This stuff's mostly auto-filled, whether you're performing, in your AE program. Like this bugs me because it says no when I click yes, and I can easily complete AEX. So model rocketry program, yep, most squadrons on Oahu, if they did the wing, if they sent any cadets, you did some. I'm not sure if you got badges. You can check that with your commander, or if you're the commander, if you sent out any badges. STEM kit program, hopefully all of you have ordered a STEM kit, and then you still have time to fill out an evaluation right now if you haven't. If you fill out the evaluation and submit it, you're going to want to click yes, and then you want to turn around and order another STEM kit for sure. Those evaluations are pretty easy to do. I've got forms that you can borrow. The key to it is don't leave it open in e-services because it'll time out and then you'll lose all that hard-earned information that you just typed in. Jaeger Awards, yep, try and get it. Our squadron's at about 53% right now. It dropped, but that's because we got a bunch of new members. So this to me is a good problem for me. I'm going to try and get my senior members Jaegered up.
Did Cadet sponsor members take the Jaeger?
I don't think so. It's only those who can get into e-services and take it through there. And I don't think the Cadet sponsor members are in that section, right? I'm not positive about that, but I'm pretty sure they don't. And then, did you do any awards? Fill that section out. And then down here, here's a key thing. Did you get any AEMs? Well, it doesn't keep track of that. So if anybody you know recruited one, you don't get credit. The wing gets credit right now, and it doesn't get credited to your individual squadrons, which is a bummer. But you can still click yes and put down which one you recruited if you did. And we did have a few AEMs join our program last year, so get credit for that if you can. Next one, this is the external. So did anybody in your squadron go to a school and talk about some STEM kit, or whether you showed them your rockets and encouraged them to come join CAP and fly rockets with us? Now, you can still do this just by Zoom meeting with a classroom or Zoom meeting with, you know, a boys and girls club or a church group or whatever, and talk about how cool your STEM kits are, how cool you. So this is attainable even under our current situation. So doing outside activities to get credit for the Quality Cadet Unit Award, which we're going to talk about in just a minute, this section's still attainable. So don't think that you're stuck. The only one that you can't make up right now is O-Rides, as our illustrious leader just mentioned. And then the same thing, like here's the clubs that you do. And then above and beyond, the only tricky part here is write down what stuff you think your unit did for AE and put it in a file. If you don't have anything, you submit a file still, and all it does is just say not applicable. So you submit a file, it has to actually have a PDF that's submitted here or it won't go through. Okay, so I am done talking about the reporting section, and definitely email me, call me, ask me questions when it comes time for you to do this in the next month or so. And if you have any trouble, we'll make sure you get through it. So let me go through the 3 things that you're going to want to do for your unit. 1, the Quality Cadet Unit Award. There's eligibility requirements. So these are the requirements, and you need to meet 5 of these 7. I think still they finally adjusted the years on this. You need to have 45% of your cadets attain Wright Brothers, retain 50% of your first year cadets. You have 3 TLC graduates on your roster. You have an AEX program, or you've completed a STEM kit and submitted the after action report. So that's the key part. So when this gets checked off on your activity report for 2020 and it shows you have a STEM kit and an after action report submitted, that qualifies you for that criteria for CQUA. Enrollment, well, some people can't do a lot about that in the next month or so. Outside activities, we just had cyber camp. I'm thinking that's probably going to be super cool for some of you. Emergency services, you can go out and get cadets qualify for GES, not a problem. I just signed off another one of my cadets today, GES, fantastic. This can be done during this time. Anybody have any questions about that one?
So for our cyber camp, then each of the squadrons who had cadets participate can claim that on their report.
I'm claiming it, and if they try and beat me down, I'll argue heavily for you.
Right. So Wheeler had a ton of cadets who had registered for it. I'll send all the squadron commanders their the name.
Completed it.
of the ones who completed it Monday
Yeah.
through Friday. So
Also, so it's not for the actual Cyber Patriot competition?
Well, it is, but that's part of Cyber Patriot. The camp is, and they put it a bunch of time. So,
I'll take it.
if yeah. I mean, this is unprecedented times right now, and for sure, it's hard enough just to try and get any of those things actually moving. So, if you get dinged for that, then they can point straight at me, and I'll just point right back at them.
I did have a question about the awards, though. So the awards that we put in on our unit activity report.
Yes.
So the ones that you're nominated for, those are for the National and Wing Awards, right? There's no unit awards at all.
No, there is unit awards as well.
There is. Okay.
Yeah. But I think it's just I think there's only two, and it's just you have excellent cadet and an excellent senior member.
Okay, great.
And I don't remember the timings and all that stuff. I can talk about awards some other day because some of those go deep into the woods of the pamphlets and the regulations. Next is AEX, Aerospace Education Excellence Award. Basically, for you guys in your units, if you need to fulfill this for CQUA, or you just want to get this award for your squadron, it's 6 instructional activities and 1 2-hour external, like go to the museum, go to a rocket launch, go to a tour of a Globe Master or something. For our purposes, any of those virtual museum tours are things that allow you to qualify that AEX program. So if you had 6 instructional sessions and 1 museum tour, then that qualifies you for an AEX award in your unit. So this should be the easiest thing in the world to fill out if you guys didn't get it organized or whatever. Right now, literally, once Jen uploads it, you have 4 online instructional units. You can just go to the Wing website and watch, and not even have to get your AEO or anyone to teach it. This is a good program if you're working with a school too, because then a teacher can achieve this pretty easily, and all the students can get a nice certificate, and that's kind of a good lead-in for joining as members. Certificates and bling, bring in the good ones.
So just as a clarification, the AEX activities that we do, they don't have to be from the AEX books. They can just be any kind of aerospace education.
That is correct, but they need to kind of fit that format from the AEX curricula, which is kind of like, the standard 140-minute type class. All right, moving on to the third Aerospace Achievement Award. So this gets pretty blinged up, and this is the new one. So this had people confused last year, and especially was interesting the first year because Colonel Lonergan literally got in the mail these AE Achievement Awards, and we were all standing around looking at them going, well, how did we get these? So we went through some confusion as well, and this is not that confusing. So basically, your unit can achieve this award, and the criteria, of course, aren't on the website. They're in CapReg 50-1, which, of course, means you need to go find that, which if you go to CAP members, publications, you'll find it, CAP R 50-1, Attachment 5, Squadron Aerospace Education Achievement Award. To earn this, you must complete for sure tasks 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, that's pretty easy if you just fill out your activity report correctly. Every squadron will have a minimum of 1 AEO. So if you get yes in that on the AR, you're automatically fulfilling all these. That AEO should be working to achieve a master rating in the AE specialty track. Yes. AE plan of action, you submitted it, and AE activity report, you submitted that. Notice the dates here. 30 November 30 October. Both of these used to be due on the 15th of October. For us in this wing, I'd really like everyone to have at least an attempt at submitting both of these by the end of September. That way that I only have to scramble around right in the October timeframe to get everybody up to speed. So if you've been keeping track of stuff, it should be really easy at the end of September to get both of those done. Then you need to have one out of each of these, internal task and external task. So if you completed the AEX program, you've got it done. If you got some model rocketry badges done, excellent, you got it taken care of. If you did the STEM kit, excellent, you got it taken care of. If you've got 75% of your senior members earn the Jaeger Award, that's what I want to shoot for. But I've got a bunch of new senior members, so I've got to go push the Jaeger around. And then you've got at least one awards nomination. And then external task, you recruited an AEM, still have time to do that. You took the AEX or AE activities and presented it at a school, homeschool learning environment, at your youth group. There's still plenty of time to do that virtually. You can present our STEM kits in a Zoom call. It's fantastically easy to do. It's kind of fun. Unfortunately, they don't get hands-on, which is the bummer part. Then either assist an AEM in a STEM program, do the ACE thing. Not many of us are involved in the ACEs for the K through 6, I think. So we don't really have a lot of engagement in that here in Hawaii. Or you went and just gave a presentation about AE activities and CAP. So there's plenty of ways to fulfill that external AE requirement still